How about drums? An instrument everybody loves. Let's get down. To the beat, to the beat.
Hanging with Nate the drummer.
Hanging with Nate the drummer.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Hanging with Nate the Drummer. We are here with Mark Caruso. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. What's up, dude?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mark is from two bands that both kick ass.
Double trouble.
Thrashic. Tell them about it. Thrashic. Not Thorashic, but Thrashic.
Or
Love
Thrashic. People have said that. Thrashic.
Wow, really?
Spelling
That's a
errors, you know, the Chameleon
okay.
Club. You know, people do that.
The what?
Oh, the Chameleon Club.
Get it?
We played at the Chameleon Club. Oh, yeah, well, rest in peace.
Sorry,
But-
it was a joke.
we played there, and it said Thrashic on the set list, and I was like all for it. I was like, this is awesome.
Wow.
It was funny.
That is funny, but sad. And
Oh.
then now you have Lyndhurst.
Yes. Beautiful Lyndhurst.
Beautiful Lyndhurst, man. And people are if they go to Anchor after this and listen, there's two songs, one from each band, and you're gonna love them.
Yes.
You know, yeah. And it's amazing. So tell me, buddy, what's your origin story?
My origin story? Whew.
Oh yeah.
First of all, my origin story started with my mom. Everything about me is through my mom. So she, like, I remember as a younger kid singing, you know, Barney, like every other kid. But then I upgraded to Beatles. The Help album. I just love that album. And then the Black Album by Metallica. So, and I'm like 5, and I'm singing these songs in the car ride from Beatles to Barney to Metallica. And then I just said, I just want to go heavier and heavier, and that's all it started. But I still love Metallica. Absolutely die-hard Metallica fan. Die-hard.
Was the Black Album your first glimpse of Metallica?
It was my first. And I just remember hearing the Beatles and, like, you know, it's 60s productions and, you know, everything's so nice. But hearing the crisp, clear Bob Rock tones, you know, that clean, what was it, like bell brass Thomas snare from Lars, and the crispy EMG 8160s from James and Kirk. Oh yeah, it's just, well, Bob Rock's like that album's like the best production ever. So I mean, and the 30th anniversary sounds better.
Listening to stories of, like, I forget who I was listening to about Bob Rock and how he came across one of the songs they were doing and
In an elevator.
Is that what it was? Yeah. And I was like, wow. Just things like that. But yeah, the Black Album, my first Metallica was And Justice for All. I remember being at some girl's house being, I don't know, maybe 10 or something. And it was about when And Justice for All had come out, a couple years. But I remember putting in a cassette tape. That's how long ago that was. Before you probably. But I'm old. But no, I remember.
95.
Oh my God. I won't tell you when I was born.
All right, don't worry about that.
No, you're good. I was born in 1978. Yeah.
Ooh.
Hey, we were both born in the 1900s, though, so that's good. That's something.
That's old school.
Yeah. So anyway, I remember putting the cassette tape in and like that, and just as like, you know, like you're like, whoa, what? Huh? Yeah. But same with the Black Album. But a lot of people didn't like the Black Album. They said that people were selling out, and you know,
Because
So
rock
good.
and metal fans are the most particular, stubborn people in the market.
They still went to the shows though.
Of course they did, because it went on.
I hate this.
It's number one everywhere. But no, Metallica heard Dr. Feelgood, because that's what Bob Rock did, and then they were like, man, we got to have that production. And I think it was Michael Helm or Schenker, whatever, who heard Nothing Else Matters in the Elevator, and then that's how S&M became to be.
Yeah.
Which that album, that's probably Lars's like second best drum sound, honestly. Like those two out, Black Album and S&M, that's prime Lars right there.
Yeah. And Lars was one of, I mean, my favorite Metallica is One. I
Okay.
mean, there's a
Okay.
lot of other ones, but that's where I first that video and the overhead of him.
Yes.
I'm like, I can see it right now. You know what I mean? That jam, the jam video where they're just, oh man, it's like what you want a band to be like, And when you go and try in a band, So when did your drumming come about? When did that hit for you?
Oh, drumming. Well, and I do want to say, did you ever see the interview with James where he goes after they debuted it at was it the one video at MTV? No one had anything to say, and he goes, "I like that." He goes, "I like that." He goes, "I like that we left people speechless and they didn't know what to say about it."
Yeah.
So my origins of drumming, I think I was 10 when I got my first kit. It was just a Pearl, but it was a Pearl Winter Hall or Wind Hall. It was back in the 90s where like major companies teamed up with smaller companies, and then like because like the wood on it's kind of just it's medium grain. It's like super sandy in the middle, but I mean it was like red sparkle. I was super into it, and I kind of died. And I was like, it's like I don't really want to do this that much. And I saw Slipknot's Disaster piece, and when I saw Joey, I was like, I want to take this seriously now. So
Wow.
seeing Joey was like, I love Lars, but I mean like Joey is so he made me want to take it seriously. Lars started it, and Joey made me take it seriously. And just seeing his crazy fills was just so. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh, that's my guy. And you can even ask my mom. I would constantly say, Joey this, Joey that, Joey does this. He does Pearl exports. I'm like, Mom, I need a Pearl export too. And she goes, no, you don't. But I mean, I talked about that guy literally all the time. All the time. 6th grade was all about Joey Jordison.
I have his drumsticks, the Ahead drumsticks.
Oh, yes,
They're,
yes.
speed metal drumsticks, and that's what I use. Well, I mean, not that I do speed metal, obviously, but just I like them. They're a lightweight. Yeah, so
So I have.
They're
so
nice, aren't they?
Well, I have the Lars model because I'm a fanboy. But these are just for like I put them on the pad and they're just for practicing or whatever. He was with a Head, and then he switched to Pro Mark, and then he did that video with he put his own blood into the drumstick. You ever see that?
Wow, I didn't see that.
You never saw that promo video?
Damn. No,
It's
I'm gonna
him.
have to see
It's
that.
him putting a vial of blood into a bowl and mixing it with paste, and then the first draft of 6 had a 1 touch of blood. You didn't see this?
No.
Okay,
No, I
okay,
didn't.
well, never mind.
But I want to. So.
It's on there. It's on
Damn.
ProMark's site.
Oh wow, I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Man,
he
you know
was
your
weird.
Stuff, don't you? He was weird, but rest in peace.
Yeah,
you
man.
know.
He was my boy. He was so
So,
short. And
How many
Lars.
How many bands have you been in? Too many to count.
4.
Oh really?
Just 4. Just 4. There
And
was
does that? Yeah.
what was
go
it?
ahead.
I think it was the Scarlet Sunset, and then Lasciate, and then Thrashic and Lyndhurst.
Oh wow. Man. So what did you learn from the first band to the last? Well, you know what I mean.
Okay, when you first you think you're good. When you first play, you think, man, I can play these tracks. I'm so good. Like I'm whatever, and I've thought that too. And then you play with other people, and then you're like, I'm not that good. And then like playing with other people really taught me to be in time, to be not be so. Oh, it's all about the fills. It's all about the fills. I like really died that down. So now obviously Scarlet Sunset, that it was just going nowhere, so we broke up, and then we formed it as Lasciate, and the front man of that is Tanis from Lives Lost.
Oh wow.
Yes,
I'm going to be talking to him next.
Yes. So, and then it was me, him, Aaron Perry, who's also the lead guitarist of Lives Lost. So, and there was this and then Sam and Rob. So it was us 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, and we were like friends to the end. We were still great friends, all of us. So
Yeah.
and then Lasciate was like such a fun part of my life. I mean, it was so much fun going to Michigan in the middle of a blizzard, driving 16 hours. I mean, and then the van was leaking brake fluid and drifting and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, so much fun stuff. That was probably like my favorite thing. And then when that all kind of died down, and then I later joined Thrashic, and Thrashic is so much fun because that really made me. That's when I really started playing to a click, and I just got really tight. I just got really tight as a player, knew when to do my fills, know when to be in the groove, and know where to put a little bit of extra in there, which is why I have the Mini China and the Splash just to do some extra flavor.
Yeah.
And Lyndhurst is just fun groove. I don't have to work. I'm not saying like I'm not trying, but I mean like
Right.
I'm not doing 210 blast beats because I think Retribution and Wall of Death, the last two songs we played for Thrashic, they're 210 back to back. So it's like I'm just pushing it. I'm like
Oof.
pushing it as hard as I can. But I mean,
Man.
I love it, but it's nice where Lyndhurst where I can just groove and have fun.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I get that. I mean, I've played multiple kinds of. I never played anything super fast and heavy because I couldn't keep up. I really don't. I listen to you and I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I've never. I tried to order a double bass pedal once. Like, I'm left-handed, so it throws things a little bit. I mean, not that you can't. No, I know it's an excuse. It's an excuse, but no. So I tried to buy one on Amazon. And for whatever reason, I got a single pedal with 2 springs. Like, you know what I mean? Like a double spring pedal. You know how the titles on Amazon, sometimes you really got to read the descriptions.
You gotta go to Dale's Drum Shop. You go to Dale's Drum Shop.
I know. I'm talking to Dale. I hit up Dale about trying to do a sponsorship. So I would love to. I got my daughter's drum set I got my daughter a Ludwig pocket kit. You know, the Questlove pocket kit.
They're great. They're great.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Dale's. Dale's just saying.
Oh my gosh. I've been there. I've been there for years. It's literally 15 minutes from my house.
Tell them how great I am and that they should help me sponsor this so that I don't have to sit in my car.
Sure. I'll
Right? No.
Sure. I'll tell Reggie, Kevin, all of them.
I'm coming from a good place.
Sure.
No,
yeah.
I love any local, you know, I want to help anybody that can local if I can get any word out there for anything, you know. So, before we go any further, I wanted to ask you, what did you think of $2 Horse when you guys played with them? Put you on the spot.
They were so weird. In a good way.
In a good way, right?
It's like Prague. It's like Prague. It's just Prague.
Nobody's doing that really anymore.
No. I mean, like okay, take the back. No one's doing that type of old school Prague. Everyone is doing the Polyphia, Periphery, Noodly, time signature change, blah 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 blah. But like they mix so much genres together, and it's so weird, and they're all weird. But like
I know, right?
I'm sitting there in a barn, and I had to sit in my car because it was so cold. But I'm listening, it's like, man, this is like you don't know where it's gonna go. And that was just really crazy. And that singer, he could sound like Alice in Chains if he really wanted to. That guy
that's what I
really
said.
could have sounded like Alice in Chains. And was I think Kevin? Yeah, Kevin. Kyle. It's Kyle.
Kyle.
Yes, because I kept saying Kyle like South Park to him. Yeah, that guy's like he's doing a bunch of linear fills. I'm like, this guy's like great.
Yeah,
so
they are spot on. Like everything they do is on purpose. You know, a lot of bands, punk, you'll go with punk and they just you know. These guys, they're like, they know. They were spouting words that I didn't know. I'm like, you know. I'm not, you know, I'm the dumb drummer. I'm sorry. I try.
I mean, but dumb drummers can make money. If you can play 4/4 to the click, you're gonna make money. You don't need you don't need all that. You just don't need all that.
No, but I do appreciate what you do because I'm like, man, like you look at you. No offense, but I wouldn't look at you and go, "Oh, that dude's a drummer in a metal band." You know what I mean? Like, minus the jacket, and that's not, you know what I mean? That's nothing against you.
I mean, it's a cashmere sweater and a Ralph Lauren jacket. I mean, and
that's badass. I mean, really.
And I'm wearing Thursday boots. I mean, like, no, I look like a prep boy because that's my whole look.
I get it. Hey, man, whatever you do, you want to do. What are you going to do? Wear a wig and, like, you know?
Yes. Well, Steel Panther does.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's all natural.
Sticks it in you, baby. Oh, no, Michael Starr's natural. Everybody else is wigs.
So, what I was saying about $2 Horse. The reason I brought up $2 Horse. AJ, he told me to tell him I've had their song Into Darkness stuck in my head all week. It's a thrash masterpiece. A thrashterpiece, if you will. Yes. Direct quote. So I just wanted to let you know.
Oh, sweet, dude. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's the easy song. Well, that's the easy song for me because the whole thing is like halftime. But it's a groove. It's a groove because everything else is like on the EP is just very fast. But that's a groove. That's a groove song. It's a fun song.
So tell me about Thrashic. How did you get into that? Like, how did you guys all meet?
Here we go.
Let's do it.
Wind the clock to 2013. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm walking in a Guitar Center. I just randomly felt like this is when you first get your license and you just want to go places. And I think I was 17, and I walked in and Matt was playing Master of Puppets, the main riff, do 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 do, and I was
Mhm.
like, man, that sounds so clean. And I remember just walking the store. I'm like, and then he's playing like something else. I was like, dude, I gotta say something to this dude. And I was like, dude, I'm like, you play Master of Puppets. That's my favorite song. He goes, well, that's my favorite band. I'm like, well, that's my favorite band. And he goes, well, I live down the street. You want to come over? I'm like, well, I'll get my
Oh
drums. And he goes,
wow.
well, I play guitar. So literally the same
Oh
day,
my god.
I went to the house. I'm like, hey mom, I'm gonna go over to this dude's house. And she's like, you sure about that? I'm like, oh yeah, he's my age. He has to be my age. Yeah, yeah. And I think he's like 2 years younger than me. But then we
Oh
hang
wow.
out and we jam, and then we were in a Scarlet Sunset together, and then he left because he just didn't want to do metalcore, which is totally fine,
Right.
and he wanted to just play more thrashy stuff, and I stayed with Lasciate. And once I kind of left Lasciate, I was like, you know what? Well, I actually took a little bit of break, and I worked at XL Live for a little bit. That was so much
Mhm.
fun.
Oh
And
wow.
then Matt was like, "Come on, man." He goes, "We've been through so many drummers. Can you please just try?" I was like, "All right." So I mean, I actually filled in for them on their first gig, and now I'm the permanent drummer because they went through like 3 or 4 other
Oh
people,
wow.
and then I stayed, and then I just said, "Hey, let's really tighten these songs up. Let's put it to like a click or whatever, and let's really
Mhm.
like grind these songs." And you know what? Like everyone's really good. Like Matt's such a solid rhythm guy. Like
Mhm.
even Tyler, like those screams that he can do, like dude, that's Iron Maiden screams right there.
Man. Yeah. Is that who it is? Because man, I was listening and I'm like, this is a throwback voice that I was almost like Ronnie James Dio. Like there's this something.
There's influences, but it's mostly
Yeah.
just him. It's just him.
Yeah, but I like the sound that you guys create. You like you say Metallica, and now you say that. I get that. You have that Black Album. You have even that. It's like that earlier thrashy Metallica. It's with his vocals. Like guys, if you don't know, if you're sleeping on Thrashic, you got to go check him out. Like you just gotta.
Well, we all come from different backgrounds, so I'm the metalcore guy because I'll always come in. I was like, man, did you see like ABR's new song, the Vengeful one? Like it's so like and break like blast beats and breakdowns, and they're like, I don't know, they're not into it. And then Matt and Tyler is more like the thrash guys, and then Alex, the bass player, he's really into punk. And by the way, hold on, I know like bass players don't get much credit. That guy always tries his hardest, and his parents are
Mm,
always there. Like his parents and my mom are always at the shows, either doing
that's awesome.
photos or helping with like a website or even helping with anything. I just
Mm,
want to say that about Alex, but like, and he's punk. So we all come together, and it's like, well, how do we? Because like thrash is just everyone knows it's just this. It's just all. I don't want to be
yeah.
like Slayer. I mean, I love Slayer, but I mean,
Mm,
all Slayer songs are almost the same. And it's like,
yeah.
how do we put some diversity into it? So that's why Wall of Death ends with a breakdown, or like there's some other punky parts like in Venom or whatever.
Mm,
So, or even Betrayed is very metalcore-ish. So I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's
That's what I
just
thought.
different
I was just
elements.
listening to that. Yeah. And yeah, that was my first metalcore show. I had my brother-in-law Brandon. I had
Hmm.
a extra ticket and was like, "Hey, man, somebody bailed on me. You want to go?" Sure. Who are we going to see? I had never listened to August Burns Red. I had never
Oh
listened to any of the other bands, and I was like, "Okay, what?" I like music in general, as you know. I mean,
yeah.
we're
Hmm.
here, and so wow. But I kind of felt a little too old. Like, just it was so loud, with the crowd surfing and just like,
Was
whoo,
that the
and
show
you're up
that you saw?
front.
I was to say, yeah, that was the show that you saw
Yeah,
me at, right?
yeah. It was so weird. I didn't mean to creep on you. I was like, because I had seen you at the Dinosaurs in Paris show,
Hmm.
and that's how we got this kind of lined up to start with, and yeah, so I was like, oh wait, I noticed the back of your hair. I'm like, we're in
Yeah.
Maryland, like, yeah, that was totally you. So
Well, I
what a
was a
crazy
huge
show.
that was standard,
Yeah, I
dude.
know for you, you're like, that was normal. That's whatever.
Oh, I mean, actually, the craziest
I
one
mean,
was,
you were in the first row though, so I mean, you didn't really. I mean, you had to just kind of catch people, but
dude, it's
I was
barricade or nothing.
I
Barricade
was
or nothing,
blocking I was blocking for you. Ah! My
dude.
laptop
That's what
slipped. There we go.
I was a huge DW fanboy. because that was my company. I don't know why, but DW was just, well, actually, they have like over 180 patents. That company is consistently changing the drum landscape. And I was huge into DW, and Matt Griner is sponsored by DW. And I remember watching the DW channel on YouTube, and I remember him playing Empire, and I was like, man, he's so good. What band is he in? And it's ABR, and they're from Lancaster. I was
Wow.
like, man.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about them. I only cared about Matt. I was like, Matt's my guy. He still is my guy, but I only care about Matt. And I just went to the Christmas show, I think in 2016 or whatever, 17, and I only wanted to see Matt. And then I fell in love with it. And then when they played
Man.
Empire, it was like the only song I knew.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't know anything, but man, I tell you what, those guys, whew, it's cool to see different people do different kinds of music, and I've always loved that, and I definitely appreciated being a drummer and being whatever, like, it's like, wow, that takes some serious shit. I'd love to talk to them. So, like I said, I'm going to keep doing this, and Brandon was like, man, do you ever do that? He might actually listen to that one, so it was
I think, Matt Griner usually answers his Instagram. So, I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
You could just give him like a message. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
that's all I can do.
super nice.
So, how often do you guys practice to keep everything
Once a
tight
week.
with Thrash?
Once a week.
Really?
Once a week. Every lunchtime, every Saturday.
And
On
who
the-
did the
on the
logo?
dot.
Who did the logo? And
Okay. So it was
Yes,
my
ma'am.
idea. It was my idea to go orange because I remember saying at the champ, a wall of stickers, and everyone is black and white or black and red, and it's just what everyone does, which is fine.
Yep.
But I said
Yeah.
we got to pick orange. I said let's just pick orange because it's bright and it's not, it stands out in a cool way. So
Yeah.
we were messing with the logo and we're like, man, who do we get this? And I just remember, I think it was Tyler's sister said, just go on Fiverr. So it was some dude on Fiverr that made it. We can't even find the email. It was like, here's the logo because we can't, I don't know, we forget who he was. But yeah, it was just a Fiverr logo. It was a regular logo and then a burned logo. And I remember doing the EP because the logo is only like this, but we got to get it to this. So we have to edit it to make it look like one big image. And that was all Matt. That was all Matt.
That's awesome. Who came up with the name? How'd that come about?
I think that was Matt or Tyler. The whole point is that we play thrash, just thrash-ick. I mean, when you hear the name, you don't think like, man, I wonder what they play. Like it immediately hits you in the face, and like, well, you have an idea of what it's going to sound like. It's going to be heavy and it's going to be thrash metal. So when you hear it, you could be like, whoa. So it just hits you in the face.
Yeah, definitely. So how do you balance two bands? Like I always wondered that.
You go on your phone and you add to your calendar events and you plan accordingly.
And that's it, huh?
That's literally it.
That makes sense. I'll be here then. You tell me to be here, I'll be here. Right?
Yes, a lot of advanced booking. Like just make sure that everyone gets their management time as well as my girlfriend. Like everyone gets everyone gets their proper time. Well, actually, no, I mean, take it back. All her days off are with me going to my shows, loading gear. So I mean, she just became a tech.
Yeah, and you guys are just too damn cute. Like you got to stop it. It's just enough. I'm just kidding. I liked your matching pictures. So.
Oh my. Okay, those photos are like. They're 8 months old, and I took them on my new GoPro because I wanted to see how it was. And I was like, man, I should probably just post these. And I tagged Thursday Boots, and they commented on it. I was so happy because I love Thursday Boots. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
They're really nice boots. I would get them, but they're too far. But I mean, like, I have a wall of shoes, but I mean, like, yeah, dude, Thursday Boots are awesome. I know they're pricey, but they're so comfortable. They're so nice.
Yeah, all mine are Wednesday sneakers. Just kidding. Sorry.
What are you, Nike or something?
Yeah, nowadays I'm like a Skechers work shoe, non-slip, just because it's a hell of a lot easier than whatever.
Get some New Balances then.
I do have some New Balances, not the dad kind, but you got to love a wide shoe, I don't know.
Oh no, I'm a small dude. I'm a small dude, so it's like all shoes are normal to me.
You got that Thursday boot foot, nice and thin and slender, and
Size 9.
Oh man.
Except my other shoes, they're all 10.
So, what are you thinking when you drumming? Because I was watching. AJ
Nothing.
sent me that video. You're not really thinking of nothing, huh?
Nope.
You just autopilot.
Well, it's okay. No, if I said autopilot, that means I wouldn't be.
Well, yeah, right.
I'm not
Like,
putting in my work. No, I'm just thinking it's just. I just put my dial on. I do my stretch. Sometimes I jump on my kit, but I mean, like, no, I'm in it to focus. I just know, okay, I'm doing this. Now I'm doing this, and I'm like going in. I'm gonna look around, and I'm just like I look at the people, and then I just go back to focusing, and I don't know. I'm just so focused, and I understand like I'm not gonna play a perfect set, even though sometimes I get really upset. It's like, man, I missed that one fill.
Yeah,
No,
right.
I'm just there to focus and put on the best show that I possibly can. And I mean, even that
Yeah.
barn show, I was like, dude, it's like 40 degrees in here. Please close your doors. I'm like, I'm gonna freeze. We're all gonna freeze.
Oh,
And
man.
even that barn show, I'm just putting in my effort and just putting the best that I can.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, and that's what we got to do. You know, you got to
Mhm.
keep hustling. You just got to keep hustling.
Oh yeah, blast beats. All the
So,
blast
do you
beats.
prefer double bass to a single pedal?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever? Did you start right double bass pedal?
Oh wait, hold on. You mean like hold on, do you mean a double pedal or two single pedals?
A double versus one single. Does that
Okay,
make
no,
sense?
I'd rather have a double
You
pedal.
rather have the double.
Okay, so
yeah.
I have a Tama Speed Cobra, which I love because I am a Tama boy now,
Yeah.
and it's super smooth. I don't care if I'm not doing double bass and if I just want to do pop music on it, like it's so smooth. It's
Yeah.
so smooth. But I just like having that option in case I want to do anything.
Yep,
yeah.
that's exactly. Yeah, I get that. So what gear do you think sounds best for you?
Maple. I mean, actually, well,
really?
I mean, it's either maple because you can do. It's because of the grain and the timber of the wood, and you can go really pitch it really high, medium, or low. There's also birchwood, and birchwood is layered the exact same as maple, whether it's a 7, 8 ply, 9 ply, whatever for your toms, kick, or snare. But birch sounds the loudest because it has more midtones. No highs, no lows, just more middle. And to our ears, we can't always pick those highs and lows. So to us, birch sounds the loudest to our ears. Or if you want to be like, I like maple because it has versatility, but if I had a little bit more money, I would be walnut for Thrashic, just for more low tones. I mean, I like my toms kind of medium, so I can cut through the mix.
Yeah.
Because like even though that we're all playing an E standard, even drop D, they have an angle and a mesa, and that's a lot of bass. So you don't need to put it in drop A or whatever. It's just a lot of low end already. So I just kind of tune my heads even like a little bit higher so I can cut through. I mean, walnut just has a little bit more snap to it, which is probably why I would put it in
Right.
Thrashic. And then in Lyndhurst, just maple because it's pop punk. You don't really need something super glamorous. You only need maple.
Yeah, and people don't realize that all this goes into that, you know, and that's why I like to do these because, you know, let people know like a lot goes in, a lot of thought, a lot of work goes into what you pick, you know, how you get the sound.
When I did the DW thing at Dale's Drum Shop, and I met John Good, the Wood Whisperer. It was so cool meeting him. But he has this. You can get it physically. I don't know. I mean, I got it at the convention or whatever shop, whatever. But you can get it online for free. It's called the Book of Plies, and it explains the grains and the
Wow.
and like, and it explains like the grain, the tension, all the different types of woods, like mahogany, cherry, birch, maple, whatever. It explains what like kind of pitch you're going to get from each one. And it even shows in the DW workshop video when he like bends that wood and you can tell by the pitch. That's why each DW
crazy.
has like the number in it, is because they put it up to a microphone and they hit it and that's on the then they put a sticker with a note on it and it's like, hey, this tom or this snare, whatever, is supposed to be tuned to this for the most effective sound. And obviously you can tune it any other way you want, or you can get a Tama and you can tune it anyway and it's going to sound phenomenal no matter what, because Tama's the best.
Now, why do you go Tama because of Lars?
No, it's just I just think it's more versatility. Look, I love DW, but they all just sound the same to me. To me, Tama just gives more. they just give more bang for your buck. Like my superstars are only like $1,000 and they sound absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
But if you want to get
yeah.
something from DW, it would be the design series for like 1,500. But if you want to spend 1,500, you can get a Star Classic, which is exactly what Lars, Mike Portnoy, what all of them, even the guy from like Polyphia, whatever. Like that's what all they use is Star Classics. Unless you want to be like, oh, who's that guy? Simon Phillips or whatever, and you're just gonna get a star. And you ever played those stars? Oh my, those things are like insane.
Really?
Oh, they're so nice. That is the top of the class.
So let's talk about Lyndhurst. How did that come about? I mean,
Tanis Pellegrini said, "Mark, you should play for this" on a Facebook comment, and then Ed was like, "Hey man, can you do this?" I said, "Yep."
Wow.
That was literally a Facebook comment from Tanis.
Isn't that crazy? Wow. So does he know? I guess he obviously knows.
He knows.
He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because at the Dinosaurs and Paris show, he was there.
Oh yeah.
Lives Lost was there, and I was like, dude, this is all because of your comment. I mean, Tanis has been in my life for like what 7-8 years, whatever. I mean, he's just my boy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to talk to him. That's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, dude, he's great.
So what about Lyndhurst excites you to like show people? Because man, that first single, whew, I'm not gonna lie, that got me.
That's all Ed. It's all Ed.
I know that one's all Ed, but like literally the video, it's all Ed. You know what I mean? No, and you gotta love Ed Allison. Shout out to Ed Allison.
Yes, because he is probably the hardest working guy in the Pennsylvania music scene, and I even put that on my Facebook. I'm like, he's just.
And there's a lot of them, but man, he's. You know, I've talked to some people. I talked to Ed a while ago. I got to catch back up with him.
Yeah.
I really do. And yeah, because I saw him at the Dinosaurs in Paris show, and yeah, what a great show. That was a good show. But yeah, seeing you guys in Lyndhurst, I'm excited. You know, I can't wait for people to hear that. You know.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
What drew me to Lyndhurst was just Ed was just so, his music is just so good. That's what really would. Well, also that, and it's like I've always been in a metal band. And I'm like, you know what? I just want to try something different. That, and for once, like, it's nice to show people, hey, listen to this radio-friendly music.
Yeah,
it's not hard to listen to. You can casually listen to this.
Mm-hmm. So, have you ever played opposite-handed?
Oh, like what you mean, like this?
Yeah, like have you ever switched everything around and played? Yeah.
I don't. I've never switched anything around because I have a rack. I have a Gibraltar rack, and I'm not. Once it was set, it's never going to be changed.
Do that.
No, it's never. I mean, because I literally got the leveler and I leveled everything, and I spent like an hour or so, or like setting up. I mean, I'll never change. However, I have done this, and like tried doing left-handed stuff. I mean, I've even taken like the right beater off and just tried to do my left foot. And my drum teacher Wade Corbin, like he made me do that for like training. Like he goes. You're so used to your right, try it with your left so you can strengthen your left hand, which is why I do blast beats. You ever notice like the Paul from Cannibal Corpse, he switches and does this. Like he doesn't play like this, he plays like this. Well, if I did that, I couldn't do Into Darkness, because Into Darkness blast beat is China, China, mini China, 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 splash, splash, or on the EP it's hi-hat, but I have to do this. I can't do this.
Right.
So it's like I have to. So I've trained left-handed, so I can learn how to cross while still blasting with my left.
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive. Because
it's just basic stuff.
I can play reggae better right-handed. Like I'm left-handed. So to get that one beat, the one drop, to get it to more relax and not get. You know, it's easier for me to like do it opposite-handed and kind of, you know, but when I was in a reggae rock band.
What?
Oh, you didn't know about that?
Oh, that sounds so awesome.
I was in a band called Sweet Ruckus. There's videos on YouTube you can check out.
Okay.
So, but yeah, and it was fun. I've been in classic rock bands, and I've been in this, you know. So reggae was something. A friend of mine was like, "Hey, you liked reggae?" And I liked reggae, and all right, yeah, sure. Yeah, our first gig was up at Harrisburg for the Harrisburg Heat, on City Island.
Okay.
The Islanders. Maybe it was the
Islands.
Yeah, we started. That was our first gig playing half. We ended up playing the beginning as people come in, and then we played halftime. You know, I remember hearing our name announced over the loudspeaker. That was cool. Sweet Rockers, you know. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, and then it just went from there. But so yeah, so I know that's why I asked you about switching up because I always like I added my own rock spin to my drumming. You know what I mean for that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't. I didn't want the normal because we were playing Bob Marley and Peter Tosh. We were playing the older reggae classics. You know, good stuff, and just kind of vibing out with that. And yeah, so that was something different for me. So okay, I
Did you
got a
switch your
question.
kit? Like, did you reverse everything and try doing all that?
I like if I would share somebody's kit and they were right-handed, you know, that's always the bitch. I mean, it's not a bitch, but I'm left-handed, so obviously, you know, I'm used to the snare on the right and the hi-hat on the right and my tom on the left. You know what I mean? The floor tom on the left. So
Oh, yeah.
I basically just switch those, and that's when I'm good.
Actually, my
But
teacher Wade, when he was on tour, he goes, if I didn't like the opener, I would make it left-handed to make it difficult for him. And I'm like, dude, you're just lucky that you're good enough to do that.
yeah, I wonder how many left-handed drummers there are versus right-handed. If it's
Not a
if
lot.
there are a lot, or
No,
I'm
there's not many.
it's crazy.
I can't. Phil? I mean, there's Phil Collins. Collins.
Yeah,
I mean,
Collins, yeah, whoever that is. I know, right?
super iconic drum fill.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I know. Isn't that the best, man?
Oh yeah.
That was so good, man. I missed that.
So simple.
Yeah, it's so simple, and he's singing, doing it like what? It's insane. Can
Ringo
you sing
Starr.
and drum? Can you sing and drum?
I tried for Lasciate, and I didn't realize because I can play and I can sing in my Jeep, but singing and playing was much different than I thought it was going to be. I've tried a couple
Right?
times.
Yeah, I was gonna recently audition for a band, and they gave me a classic rock band, and they gave me a whole list of songs, and they were like, and pick a couple that you could sing to, either background or whatever, and I'm like, oh, it's a, ugh.
Dude,
I
it's harder than
mean,
you think because
yeah, 'cause
you're
you get
doing
in your
this
head.
and you have to sing in key. Oh,
Yeah, and not be in your head in one way or the other, you know. So
like the dude from Atreyu. Like, how does he do that?
yeah, I don't know. Some people are just nuts, you know. And it's like I don't know how anybody does anything sometimes.
Some people are just really talented.
Zombie band. Who you bringing back? You make up a zombie band. Who you bringing back?
Metallica. I mean, I don't. Motley Crue. I mean, with Vince. I mean, I just want him to get back in shape. I'm sorry, man. I mean, Steel Panther was so right. Steel Panther was so right. If you can bring someone back from the dead, Vince Neil.
Poor
I don't know.
Vince.
He did that to himself. He if he just wants to have drinks and women, and that's his choice, man. But I mean, you better be in shape.
I know what I just remembered. You just
Okay.
opened for Quiet Riot.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that. Like, how surreal is that I just now brought that up? Like, what?
Okay.
Should've opened with
okay.
I buried the lead.
So we
Quiet
weren't sure.
Riot.
We were thinking about maybe we should. We're like, we're probably too heavy for that. And I just remember, we really pushed it off. And then Matt was like, dude, just message them. And I was like, okay, I'm going to message them. And they just said, yeah, someone dropped because of health concerns. Do you want it? And I said, oh, yeah. I'll take that. And,
Yeah,
and they
right.
said, now, you had to sell 30 tickets or whatever because we were supposed to open up for Jackal. But I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what's happening for that because
So
there's
that's still a possibility?
no. It's because if you looked,
Love Jack.
they made a post saying like, hey, we're gonna reschedule, and we're just waiting confirmation from the Reverb.
Oh, gotcha.
But for that, we have to sell 30 tickets. But since we got on Quiet Riot 2 weeks before the show, they just said, just promote it. Just really promote it. And we got super lucky. And because we didn't sell any tickets, we were the very first one. And I was very happy for that. I mean,
Wow.
it was a bunch of people sitting in their chairs. I mean, I didn't think anyone was going to do a wall of death, but I was
Yeah, right.
I was just excited to be there. But it was
Mhm.
weird seeing like Quiet Riot, like none of the original members, but
Oh,
all
really?
like, well,
But they
yeah,
know what to do. They obviously know what to
it
do.
wasn't bad. Like it wasn't bad, but
Mhm.
it's just not the original guys. And I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's
and it was
weird.
crazy because like they're like, it wasn't even their stuff. Like I
Mhm.
think of the guitarist, it was just his PRS. It was a black PRS with white polka dots, and then he comes in, and that's all he has is a set list, a guitar, picks, and that's it. All that other gear was rented. The double Marshall stacks, the DW collector black sparkled kit with Remo coated heads and whatever
Mhm.
Fender bass that the bass player was using. I mean, like all rented stuff. They just flew in, whoop, did the show, flew out, go to Oregon the next day to play a show.
Jeez, that's insane. That's
I
insane.
know,
Like,
Quiet
what a,
Riot. I was like, I didn't think like them out of all people would do that.
there's a lot of bands that are still out there. Who knows? Shaggy's probably still out there.
Yeah.
There's so many. Everybody's they're still trying to hustle. And nowadays it's getting tougher and tougher. Are you scared that it's gonna like all stop again? It's so hard to tell. Are things gonna keep going? Or are we gonna?
Uh,
I know I don't want to say it, but
um,
you just never know.
I no, and it all it is just whatever happens. There's always alternatives. There is always live streams because Thrashic did a
Yeah.
live stream at Rock Mill Studios. There is always alternatives. There is always, or you can design a shirt and you can sell it. I mean, Iceline Kills made 2 million in merch from COVID because their merch is awesome. I mean, the money is in the merch. If you can't
Yeah.
tour, you bust out some cool shirts. Like Lyndhurst just did the Sheets parody shirt. I mean,
Oh,
that
dude,
was all. Yes, that's
I
all
want
because
one of them. I love that.
yeah, all because Ed did a joke or thought it was funny or because he was bored and he did something. I mean,
Yeah,
literally,
right.
it's just what it takes. It's just if you don't have shows, just do the merch or do some kind of VIP
Podcast.
podcast, meet and greets, do whatever that you can. Because, I mean, that's just really it. But as far as anything goes, nothing is for sure.
Right.
Nothing is ever for sure.
So, with that being said, like, what keeps you going on? How do you
Oh,
keep
YouTube.
inspired?
Just YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's so simple because or Instagram. You can I can literally go on Instagram and I can watch Luke Holland and I can go on YouTube and I can watch like Wyatt Stav or any other drum cover. I mean, literally, there's hundreds of drum covers, or even use the hashtag drum cover on Instagram, and there's just hundreds of videos. And if you're constantly seeing other people rip it, it's like, man, I want to do that too. Which is what I did because before I was in Lyndhurst, I was just doing pop covers. Because if you saw like I did like the Cardi B Up song and I did like some other songs, it's because I just wanted to play like different music. And now that I'm in Lyndhurst, like I can kind of balance that out. But I mean, like, yeah, it's just going. I mean, the internet is literally your motivation. I mean, it's also me
Right.
too. But I mean, I also have all this stuff scheduled. Like I just can't stop. I just remember working for XL, and working for XL was a lot of fun. But I just remember thinking to myself, like, man, I want to be back on there.
Yeah, it's hard when you want to be on stage and like that's what you love, and to not be there, but to go see shows. Like it's for years, it always bugged me. Stand there and like, oh, I want to be up there.
Yeah, I did a. Do you know John Garcia, the Hopeless Romantics?
Yes, that's another
Okay.
person I've reached out to.
So I managed his tour. I think it was like the
Oh, wow.
Thicker Than Water tour. It was so funny because like I was at this Tom clinic at Dale's Drum Shop, and Chad Sliga was there. Now Chad
Oh, wow.
Sliga was like from Breaking Benjamin, Black
Yeah.
Label Society, all that other stuff. And I remember telling my friend John, I was like, dude, I'm like, Chad Sliga's here. And he goes, put him on the phone. I was like, I'm not doing that, John. He goes, put him on the phone. Just trust me. They were going to do a tour together. Like
Wow.
what was it, the Walking with Lions and the John Garcia Hopeless Romantics and then some other band. And I just remember, and I managed that tour because I was asked to do that. And I just remember like touring with my friends and seeing my friends play. I was like, man, I want to play.
Yeah, right.
I was like, man, I want to play. But it was also cool though, seeing like Chad Sliga's like going to his home, seeing like his Breaking Benjamin stuff, seeing his Tama kid up in personal,
Oh, wow.
like just like asking him like what it takes and everything. Like even his skills, like his splash fills are so crazy because he just goes,
Yeah,
I
really.
remember when I was so cool. He goes, I thought I was so cool. I had 5 splashes. I was like, Chad, that's like unnecessary. But he's so good, so it doesn't matter. Like, oh no, he like because Chad, he does like the big
Yeah.
loop things, and then he does the ding ding ding, and then the bell will be up here.
Ding. Yeah.
Yes, because he is super into that, which I'm also super into as well.
Oh yeah, it feels right. You hear it and you're like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot
he just likes the accent, and that's what I like to do too.
Yeah, that reminded me of a Seven Dust song. Seven Dust. I don't know if you are into them, but man,
I just know
their
of them. I don't
first
think I've
album.
really listened to them before.
Listen to the first album. It's kind of like as Thrashic is, like where you're all in sync, you're all together, you're all dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, the first Seven Dust album. I love every Seven Dust album, but the first one, yeah, it just hits totally different. It's what I mean when it's raw, it's fresh. After that, everything's well produced,
Yes.
or more produced or whatever. So
Uh,
I would give that a listen.
Quantized, that's what it is. Everything is quantized and put to the click.
Yeah.
So I mean, like,
Yeah, there's a lot of bands that their first album's so good, it's so what it needs to be, and everybody loves them, and then the second album is like more produced because they got money, but it doesn't make it better.
well, it's also that, and it's just what people will say the industry standard is
Yeah.
just quantize everything, and we're going to put everything aligned. And to you as a musician, you hear that, and you're like, man, it doesn't sound as organic. But if you took someone who's casual and doesn't really know that stuff, they're not really going to tell a difference most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's more eye of the beholder. It's all about eye of the beholder. It's like
Yeah.
if you're a musician, you pick up on that stuff. If you're someone who's casual, you don't really pick up to that stuff.
Mhm.
But yeah, the first album is usually just raw, or it's also the time
Yeah.
period. I do know the
Yeah.
Seven Dust drummer. He has a signature pearl snare. I do know that.
Yeah, and he plays a little differently.
He has dreadlocks,
I've-
right?
Yeah.
No, yeah,
they're kinda
because he
like
has a little
spider.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah, and he sings. Has that
Yes.
kind of like you have right now. He has like one of those. He's an airplane pilot too.
yes, dude. You know, Tommy Lee
The
does
flag.
that too. Like Tommy Lee has like this exact same thing, except his like I don't think it has an overhead, but like
If I was going
Tommy.
to sing that's what I would have. What you have, you know what I mean? As opposed to like a microphone. I've seen that in bands where you're like on a stand.
what was it, like Jimmy Sullivan from Avenged Sevenfold? Like they did that. Atreyu does that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
Under
have
Oath.
like you have.
Under Oath does that as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, if I had to sing, or chime in every now and then, that's what I would do. I'll chime in yay or whatever every now and then. Don't make me go past that.
I just jump on my drum kit and I just scream.
Well, that's good too. That's good too. I want to bring back drum solos. Can we bring back drum solos?
I do a small
Do ya?
drum solo, yes, because I do a drum intro for our song "Mass Hypnosis," which I think the only way you can really see it is my drum cam from the Rock Mill. Yeah, the Rock Mill studio thing that we did. The stream.
Okay.
So I have a cam, but I do like a little intro. It's just literally around the toms. But I also do now a small, like 20-second solo because I don't want to take up time. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
It's
everyone
kinda
else,
something you have to have
everyone else can
planned.
do their solos, but I kind of just want to groove and play.
Yeah, I would really love to hear a modern Moby Dick kind of version. Led Zeppelin. They have that. It starts and then
Bring
they go
them-
into him.
Put
And
them
then
on
he
my
goes
zombie
in.
thing. Put them on my zombie
Oh,
thing.
okay, you going Zeppelin? Yeah, I love John Bonham. He was. I'd say
you know what,
John
that-
Bonham.
That and the Beatles before they became a studio
yeah.
only band.
Yeah, I love the Beatles. I love Zeppelin. I grew up on Zeppelin, Beatles, and then Metallica. It turned into Lars, Stone Temple Pilots. Stuff down that realm.
Oh, I saw them once. Oh my gosh, that was cool. That was Rock Allegiance 2012 in Hershey, the first Rock Allegiance.
I
With
didn't
3
tell
Days of
you.
Grace.
I saw Metallica for free before in Philly.
Which one?
Yeah,
Wait, which Philly show? Oh, was that the band
it
in
was-
Philly show when they played into the parking lot?
it was Reload. I believe it was
Oh,
Reload.
that's even better.
It was, yeah. It was so weird. We were one gate. They gave out so many tickets, even though it was completely free in the parking lot of, like the Spectrum or I forget which.
Okay, so it is a parking lot.
Yeah, it was in the
Okay.
parking lot.
So that was the band from what was it, Band in Philly show, and you can find the whole thing on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, You can
they have that on the YouTube.
yes, there's a lot of stuff that Metallica recorded. They even have their live website from every show from 2004 and onward. You can buy for $10, so you
Yeah, I
can buy
believe
like
it was
any
for-
individual show.
Yeah, it was Load or Reload. I'm pretty sure it was Reload though, the Reload album. That.
Dude, Load
Yeah.
is such a good album. I don't care what anyone says.
But how did you feel when you hear the country song? Let my heart go. Meow, 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 meow. I'm like, this is not Metallica. Like I can get. I'm pretty
Okay.
open-minded.
That's-
It's a good
that's-
song.
That's what. Okay, that's
But,
what.
come on.
That's literally okay. So, I'm gonna kind of go back to this. When Metallica did the Hardwire tour, I was one of the people that got this thing called the Black Ticket that lets me go to all 36 shows.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
talking. Yeah, it was. Yeah, 5 straight in a row. 5 in a row, front row each time. But I'm listening.
Oh,
I'm listening to these hardcore fans, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, those songs are great." And what does everyone say? Oh, that song was great, but it was Metallica song. And I'm like,
You're right.
just because it was Metallica doesn't mean it's not a good song.
Oh no,
Like,
it's a
just
good
because-
song, but it's
Oh
like,
yeah, but
what?
I've heard that from hardcore fans like my entire life. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's not the old stuff. I'm like, yeah, but
Mhm.
I guarantee you, if this was I guarantee you, if any other band other than Metallica, no, I take it back. If a new band put out Load as their debut album, they would be
Yeah.
a legend right now.
Yeah,
But no,
yeah.
it was because it's Metallica and they did thrash.
Mhm.
It just all comes back to rock fans are just very particular, and
Yeah,
they're just very picky.
yeah.
If you seen
No, I get that.
if you watch the YouTube channel, the Punk Rock MBA, he just explains it much better than I could.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, that guy is just very smart. Have you ever seen that, the Punk Rock
No.
MBA?
Punk Rock MBA,
you
I'll check
you
that
gotta it's
Hmm.
hosted by Finn McKenzie. It's a really smart show. Like you
Alright.
you learn so much from this guy, because this guy did graphic design, and he did he was like designing like Hollister stuff, even though like he's a hardcore guy. Like, and apparently all those guys are hardcore guys, but I mean, like, who designs
That's
all the
crazy.
Hollister and Abercrombie stuff. But no, like,
Really?
you learn a lot of business and like see
Mm-hmm.
why people make certain decisions of why they do.
Right.
Hmm.
Man, that's crazy. So, okay, so tell me, what do you want the future of the bands to be? Like, where do you want them to go? Where do you think they're going to go?
Not sell out.
Whatever
Not
that
just-
is.
I don't want some corporate label to tell me you have to play this, you have to play this. I don't
Right.
mind getting big. That's not my problem. My problem is that I just want to make sure that I don't have the stress to make sure I make a label happy or whatever. I just want to play my
Yeah.
stuff that makes me happy or make others happy. I mean, I don't know if you ever saw, I think it was Periphery when they're recording their second or their third album, whatever documentary that they put out, they said they make their music for themselves. Like, if people
Yeah.
like it, that's good on them. But I don't
Right.
care if people like it or not. I do this for myself. And I just want to write music, for me, because it makes me happy. And if people like it, I'm very happy. I'm totally fine if both my bands get big. I just want everyone to be happy and make sure everyone gets along and everything is balanced and everyone can play on time.
Yeah, right. What do you hope people get from your music?
Enjoyment. I mean,
Straight
that's
up
that's
enjoyment.
really it. I mean, you're listening to a song. I mean, maybe you can get your frustrations out, or maybe you just want to
Yeah.
sing in the car. I mean, with Thrashic, you can get your frustrations out. With Lyndhurst, you can sing in the car and have like after a day, like after work or whatever. Because I've done that. I put my Lyndhurst in my car and I sing whatever after I'm done with my
Yeah.
job. So I mean, like
Yeah. I'm sorry for the way I am.
Oh yeah, people really question that when I sing that in the parking lot. Actually, I have a Counterparts hoodie, and it says what's that one album? It's the one album no, Nothing Left to Love, and I've worn that to work sometimes, and people are like, "That's interesting." I'm like, "It's an album, dude. Like, it's an album.
Yeah,
Calm
right.
down."
Yeah, you got to be careful what you wear nowadays. That's for sure.
It's
You're gonna
fine.
get canceled. Whatever that is.
It
Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame, right?
it's fine.
So with Lyndhurst, I know Ed created the original songs and stuff, but are you gonna have more input into that, or is it like Ed's
Well, the songs
Wizard
were
of Oz?
so it was more like when I joined, Ed just had a list of songs. He goes, "Hey man, So just
Yeah.
learn these songs and that's it. And the songs, he was recording those songs already while we were practicing.
Yeah.
And I was playing these songs and I just put my own spin on it when I play live. Obviously when you listen to whatever the single or whatever EP or album that's released
Yeah.
later, like that's all him. But when you hear it live, it's my rendition. And it's basically just the song with more fills.
Yeah. And Ed's okay with that? I mean, obviously. Like he
Well,
was okay with you
I made sure because I
adjusting.
have a bigger kit because like he just has one tom, one floor
Right.
tom, two cymbals and a ride. And I'm like, dude, I have like a little bit more than this. And I make sure like, hey man, like, do you mind if I do this? Do you mind if I do that? Because I don't want to overtake on or like overshine whoever on the
Right.
song. And he looks at me, he goes, Mark, just do what you think is good. I was like, okay.
Man.
And I just remember the first show
That's
that I did
awesome.
with Lyndhurst, I did a lot of double bass fills. And the next one at the HMAC, I didn't because I realized like I kind of was overdoing it. And the whole song,
Right.
these are supposed to be fun, singy songs. And I don't want to
Yeah.
kind of, I do more fills, but I mean, I don't want to overcomplicate it.
Right. All right, buddy. Well,
Tom
hey,
fills.
I appreciate you taking time to talk to me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I really do.
Ask
And I
me
hope you've had a
anytime.
great time.
Ask me anytime.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, man. I love that I can have some sort of platform to, get people to listen to new music. And like I said, we'll be on Anchor. It's going to be
Yes.
awesome, man. So why don't you tell everybody where you can, because you got so many tags and this and that.
Do I?
Where can everybody find you, Thrashic, Lyndhurst?
Okay. So I do have some YouTube covers. I do have some YouTube covers on Thrashic Mark because that's what I'm always Thrashic Mark, and then my
Yeah.
and then my Instagram is Thrashic Mark. I even did some TikToks. That was also Thrashic Mark. But like Thrashic is on everything. I think we paid whatever distributing company, whatever. Like we paid a little bit more so we can get it worldwide. But it's on Apple
Yeah.
Music, Spotify, whatever. And then Lyndhurst, only the single is out so far, and that's on everything else as well.
Okay.
And we'll get more.
All right.
We'll get
yeah.
more out there.
Our plan is to take over the world.
I plan on that, or at least
Yeah,
get some
right?
endorsement.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know endorsement. I want endorsement too. I want
The closest
something.
thing I have to it is my kit, which is a Japanese one of one. I know I can already see my band, like, because I tell people this all the time. It's because it's pink. It's a light pink kit. It was a reject model because you can't find that
wow.
anywhere else. Yeah, so it was a pink 101 from Japan that got rejected, got shipped to the U.S. and now came to Dale's Drum Shop, and then I picked it up.
Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. That's funny. So it's light pink? Is that what you said?
They say it's copper mist, but it looks like salmon. It's just a satin. It's just a satin light pink, and I love
Copper
going to metal.
mist.
Well, it's like white because you can put any color on it, and it makes it look like that color. It's awesome, especially in those lighting gigs at like the Reverb or HMAC or whatever. It can make it look like different colors.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. That's true. It's just the colors, with it. So I guess it really doesn't matter in general because usually you're dark. You can't tell how cool the drums look. You know what I mean?
That's why I wanted like a white kit for the longest time because like you can make it look like anything. But I got pink. I got pink instead.
Hey, whatever works for you. You want to be pretty in pink? That's fine.
Dude, pink rules, dude. Are you kidding me?
I can't pull off pink.
Yeah, anyone can pull off pink. You don't have to look like a prep boy to pull off pink. Like it's a manly color. It's a sick color. I mean, and especially at metal shows, that's the perfect time to shine.
Oh, one of the greatest things that at that show, in between bands, there were two moments that really stood out to me. August Burns Red, we're here at this metalcore show, everything's loud, but during the band's setting down and setting back up, September comes on. Do you remember?
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
21st? And everybody stood there and sang along and sang to it at this metal show.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, this is so universal. Can you imagine? I would love to have a song like that, just one song. I would love to have a one-hit wonder.
Okay, so when the Jonas Brothers came to Hershey, I went, and it was awesome because I had a Slayer t-shirt on and like ripped jeans. Oh yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, and it wasn't like one of those like Raining Blood, whatever, like the common ones that you can get. No, it was like the Lamb of God, Behemoth tour t-shirts with
Mhm.
the tour dates on the back, so you know it was real. And
Yeah.
everyone was singing Old Town Road from like was it Lil Nas? And I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, this is cool. But yeah, but
Yeah.
when we go to like whenever I go to metal shows, like they'll sing to like whatever random song, and ABR does that.
Mhm.
They put on those random songs, and people always sing
Yeah.
along, especially to the Chop Suey song because that's a
That's what
song.
that was. Yeah, that was the set. I thought it was. I know they did the cover of that, so I was
Well,
excited to hear
they've been
that.
coming out to that song for years.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's like
It's like their inside joke. Or
well,
their,
it's like bands usually have that they play a song
yeah.
before the band comes on. Before that, it's like an
Right.
intro to an intro. It's
Mhm.
like Metallica
Yeah.
does AC/DC A Long Way to the Top. I think it is
Mhm.
that song. Like they
Yeah.
play that before they play the Chastity of Gold or the Ecstasy of Gold before they play
Mhm.
their Hardwired intro. So they have 3 intros.
Yeah. Jeez, that's insane.
Well, it's they can
It's
do
what you
whatever
got
they
to do.
want. They can do whatever they
Yeah.
want.
Right. Oh, I know. Yeah, especially now. All right, buddy.
Well, they just announced the Metallica Black Box that's going to come out, and they already sold out the Metallica Black Album double. Was it? Yeah, deluxe edition, which is over there right next to my box. So
I love Metallica too.
I know,
Man,
I
you
know.
love Metallica more than I do, but I don't know. I mean, I love them, but
Okay.
you definitely have a fun.
Look, I made
You
I
win.
made a sign for Lars that said Lars spit on me. I mean, and he took and he took a picture with it, and then he posted on his Instagram story. I mean, he's just
Oh my god.
because I was there for like 5 shows in a row. I was like, well, because the first 3 shows I was on
Lars
James's
spit
side.
on me.
Well, because he does that in the crowd. He goes like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, because I wanted to do it on me. But I mean, like,
Sounds perfectly normal.
it is normal because he does it to everybody else. Why not do it on an individual targeted
Yeah.
audience member?
Like holy water.
Yes, but like, and
Lars
people are
holy
like,
water.
well, like, because like I don't know, because he does it to everybody else. Why not do it to me?
Yeah.
Because everyone's asking
Yeah.
for drumsticks, and I'm like, I don't want to
Yeah.
ask for drumsticks. I want to be the guy that asks for something different. And it
Yeah.
was so cool because
And it worked.
I talked to Jimmy, his new tech, and he gave me a used drum head from the last show that they did.
Oh wow.
And oh yeah, and then before that, James gave me a pick that he played for Whom the Bell Tolls because I was on his side for like 3 shows,
Man.
3 shows in a
Mhm.
row, and it's singing his tech Chad, and I just kept screaming at him. I was like, Chad, it's like Chad. I'm like, so I can remember like some of those shows back in the day. Like, how was it being like? How was James lit on fire? So like, what'd you do with that guitar? What'd you do with all this? I'm like, hey, what strings are you doing? Like, like I already knew like most of the answers, but I just wanted to bug him. And I found
That's
him on
funny.
Facebook, and I'm pretty sure he blocked me because I really annoyed him.
You got to him. He's
I
like,
don't-
"Let me alone, kid."
Oh yeah, but I mean, Jimmy was so nice. He gave me a drum head. He
Mhm.
talked to me about the Black Album. He talked to me
I
about
don't
drumming,
always
all
think
about
of-
comma.
like if my podcast progresses and I get to be able to talk to people that are in bigger bands like that, like how would I maintain my composure? I think I'd be fine, but like you know what I mean. Like if I'm sitting here with James or Lars or whatever, like so hey guys,
So so if you look, I mean, do you follow me on Instagram? Well, you follow me on
Yeah.
we're friends on Facebook. So if you go
Yeah.
through my Insta, like, or even my Facebook,
Mhm.
you can
yeah,
see
I'll
like
go check it out.
you can see like I've been with like I've done the VIP for a bunch of different bands,
Right.
and like I'll never forget my first meet and greet was Motley Crue for the final tour, and I just remember I could not keep my composure. I freaking
Yeah.
cried right in front of him. I was like,
Oh, wow.
because I remember turning the corner. I was like, "You're Vince Neil." And he goes, "Yeah," and I'm like, "You're Nikki Sixx," and he goes, "How you doing?" And I'm like, you're Mick Mars. I'm like, hi
Yeah.
guys, welcome to Hershey. How you doing? And I was like, but I also knew that like they were taking separate buses, and I also knew
Mhm.
like they just were separate hotels, separate buses, and it really broke my heart inside. And I just remember I was
Yeah.
like, I just want you guys to be friends after this. I was like, I'm just so happy, but I want you guys to be friends. And Nikki like came up. He goes, dude, I really appreciate it. He goes, thank you so much.
Wow.
And he goes, you want to take a picture? Do you want to take a moment? I was like, oh yeah, we can take a picture. But I was like, it was so nice meeting him, but I just remember crying.
Wow. Yeah. I'm sure that's not the first time it's happened, so.
Yeah. I mean, like, actually, have you ever seen that?
I mean-
Have you ever seen that video, "The Day of the Life of James Hetfield," where like some girl like just comes up to him and just starts bawling her eyes out, and he just gets so annoyed and just walks off, just stops the
That's
meet and greet
funny.
and walks off. Oh yeah, that's why he didn't do meet and greets for the Death Magnetic album, is because he goes, I'm sick and tired of people crying in front of me, or I'm sick and tired of like women throwing themselves when I have 3 kids, and that's why it took him a while
Wow.
till Hardwired comes out to say like, okay, I'm gonna do meet and greets now, but you got to pay to meet me. And people are like, oh, they do it for the money. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's all given to a charity. They don't even keep it. And he only
Right.
wants hardcore fans to meet him. So
Mhm.
it's like not, because like you can win VIPs. You can meet 3 of them.
Right.
You just won't meet James. But I mean,
Right.
he just wants
That's
hardcore
crazy.
people. Well, he just wants hardcore fans that'll know that they're gonna pay the $2,000, and
Mhm.
he knows for a fact. Yeah, I know if you're gonna pay that, you're not gonna screw it up. And I
Yeah.
totally
Makes
understand that.
sense.
It's like when
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's like when Bieber stopped doing meet and greets because that girl tore his shirt and got him sick because she sneezed on
Yeah.
him. And I'm like,
Yeah, come
it's
on.
understandable.
Yeah, totally. Man.
No, but
Oh,
check out my Insta. You can see all my bands.
I will. And you reminded me, I did this stupid little quick impression video of James Hetfield blowing his nose, and it's on my YouTube page.
Oh yes, I gotta see this.
But it's gotten a lot of views. So, and I'm always like, does that mean people thought it was James blowing his nose and they clicked on it and like, oh, what? No. Or is
Clickbait.
it
Oh yeah, no, people never.
like, because
click
it
me on
wasn't,
YouTube.
yeah, I know, right? Like, I wasn't planning on that, but I keep noticing it keeps getting a lot of views, and I'm like, it's literally like, just like, I forget, like, like, it's a stupid, quick little thing. You got to see it, but
Put it on
it's
TikTok. You could probably get
you're
more
right.
views.
You know what? You're right. Maybe I'll download it off there, and I mean, no, I won't. I'll somehow find it, and yeah, I know, right? And I'll show it to you. But all right, buddy, my laptop is about to die, so I don't wanna hang up on you. I just
Okay.
looked down. I'm like, ah.
Oh, I'm
So,
at a full charge. I was prepared for this. I was ready for this the whole day.
I was, and then I looked down. I had like, whoa, okay, all right, see how it is. So I apologize. Yeah, I had to sit in my car because I'm fixing the floors in my house, and there's it's just a mess. So I was like, I'm gonna sit here in the car and and make it happen. So
I just
hey,
had
buddy.
to prop my laptop up and be like, do I want my
Mm-hmm.
flag in the back? Do I want my shoes in the background? Do I want my TV in the background?
Yeah, it's weird when you add video to it, but I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me, man. You're welcome
Yeah.
to the podcast family. I appreciate it.
Dude, I've listened to so many podcasts, and it's so awesome to at least do one. So at least
Well,
that's
yeah,
something I
man.
can put on my bucket list.
And what I hope out of all this is that even you and everybody else goes and listens to all my episodes, because dude, I put music in every episode.
I've
You would
seen-
you would love Cam Cole. I don't know if you checked out Cam Cole, dude. I mean, he's one of many that I've talked to that I love. I love all of them, you
Yeah.
know, and I believe in all of you, and I
Yeah.
love that I can help this, you know. And if you want a really good, though, I have one that's called the Podcast Family Tree, where it's just MP3s of all my first season, you know, from all the episodes. It's literally like 3 hours long. So I'm just saying, if, not trying to throw it out there, but I'm telling you, I believe in all of you guys, and I love that I can let people, listen to new music that they might not have heard, and,
Yeah.
go, oh, damn, I like these guys. So I appreciate you, buddy.
Oh yeah, dude. Thank
And-
you.
Yeah, man. All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate it, and I'll send you the links when everything's good, and we're gonna blast this and let people know about
Pedal to
Lyndhurst,
the metal.
Thrashic, Mark Caruso.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
That's me.
before we go, I have to ask you, what's your
Okay.
what's your dad do for a living?
He works for the state.
Okay, all right. I had a biology teacher at Votech in York named Mr. Caruso, and I just wanted to see.
Not my dad.
I know this guy good because this guy was an asshole. I just your last name gives me that PTSD because this guy he would say the words take and a lot. So he'd be like, take and get out your colored pencil, take and put your books away, take and I would sit there in class and like do the notch thing and just like check mark.
Yeah.
That's what I did in biology. Hence why I didn't dissect the frog and whatever. But I just wanted to check.
Dude, I went to a prep school or preppy school, or no, not preppy school. What is it? Private school, and we didn't do that.
I know, right?
It's fine by me.
Yeah, right. It's not anything great. So
No, I was
right.
I was more focused on math class, dude.
Oh, yeah. You're more that guy. I'm not that guy.
Oh.
I'm that guy. I'm sorry. Oh well, we were almost friends. Damn it! Almost.
I'm friends with everyone, dude. You can always be friends with me.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you. That's for
yeah.
sure.
We'll let you go
All right,
before
buddy.
your laptop dies.
I know. I'm looking down. I'm like, ah. All right, buddy. Well, yeah. Well, have a good one, and I appreciate you.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I said,
of course.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Thank you so much,
Have a
dude.
good one. I wish
Thank
I knew
you.
how to end these damn things.
You just press leave studio.
Oh yeah, I guess so. All right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, thank you too. Later, dudes.
Yep. Later. All right, guys. Good old Mark Caruso. I hope you guys love him. I'm trying to do this quick. I don't want my laptop to die, so rock on, guys. I appreciate everybody who watches this. And please go to anchor.fm/N8 the drummer. Okay? And if you could please subscribe, listen to all my other videos and everything else, I would greatly appreciate it because I want to help all these bands. I want people to hear all this great music. All right, guys? So rock on, and I'll catch you on the next time. Thanks for listening, and thanks for hanging with Nate the drummer. Rock on.